Hello, I'm Dale Hoagie, Superintendent for the West Central Area School District. The WCA Board and I would like to thank you for taking time to watch this informational video. The video is comprised of several PowerPoint slides, plus explanations and comments from school board members and myself. We encourage you to continue your quest to find out more about our 3 ballot questions. Thank you very much.
Challenge, learn, succeed. These are words we focus on when making decisions at the board table. This school board and the previous boards before it have spent many years trying to come up with a solution for our facilities. Passing questions 1, 2, and 3 benefits all learners at West Central area, preschool through seniors, and strengthens our district.
The board has unanimously agreed upon a 3-site option that will bring the 5th grade back to a true elementary setting. Questions 1, 2, and 3 will set the district up for continued excellence in academics and athletics for the foreseeable future for our students and our staff.
Hi, I'm Michelle Messman. I'm the West Central Area School Board Chair. I've been on the board for 6 years. I want to talk a little bit about question 1. It's been a long road to get to where we're at today. A lot of research has been put into question 1, meeting with different groups and facilitating different discussions. And one of the things that we found when we were talking about question 1 was identifying what is an adequate amount of space. So we looked at the original rough draft floor plan from a couple of years ago. It was about a 75,000 square foot footprint, and went and pulled together a collaborative group of teachers from all 3 buildings, administrators, superintendent, maintenance staff, school board members, and really went room by room on the floor plan to identify what was an adequate amount of space. Which spaces did we need? Were there spaces that we didn't need? And were there spaces that we needed to add on? So things like preschool rooms, making sure that we had bathrooms built in there, really identified exactly what it is we needed for space. So that footprint decreased from 75,000 square feet to 58,000 square feet. One of the things that's built into the footprint for the South Elementary School is 1 flex classroom. And what a flex classroom allows us to do is when we have a larger group of kids and we need to split into more sections, to take that flex classroom and use it for that bigger section of grade that we have coming up. And as a result of that, and scaling back our footprint, it only left us with 1 flex classroom. Moving the elementary school from Kensington to Hoffman allows us the opportunity for kiddos that are between Hoffman and Barrett, if they're interested, to explore enrollment at North Elementary also. It also improves some efficiencies for our staff that are traveling between multiple buildings, with having a 7-mile distance from the secondary school to North Elementary and a 7-mile distance from the secondary school to South Elementary.
Hi, Dale Hoagie here at North Elementary in Elbow Lake. I'm going to talk a few minutes about the plans for this area with the upcoming building bond referendum. Directly behind me sits an area of the building that was constructed in 1966, and it's got about 40,000 square feet, and it's primarily a gymnasium, but there are hallways and classrooms that surround this area. You can see the classrooms behind me. This is an area where the primary portion of the renovation is going to be completed, and the other part of the construction project that is here would be behind me to my right. And you see a higher portion of the building, that's the food service area, the lunchroom area, and that's an area that would be demolished. And in its place, from the point where I'm standing all the way through to the street on the other side, this would become a bus drop-off area, staff parking, there'd be a parent drop-off, and there'd also be an area for visitor parking also within the property as it exists today. The area that I'm standing on, a portion of the green space here used for playground. Directly to my right, we have a volleyball court and basketball courts, and then to my left, a lot of green area that is outdoor playground space that our PE classes use. When we complete the project and add about 20,000 square feet to this structure, there'd be 2 academic wings that would come out from the existing building here, and those academic wings would be classroom spaces for our grades 1 through 5, and this would become a grade 5 site as well, so it would be moving 5th graders from Barrett to Elbow Lake, and it would now become a pre-K through 5 program in this location. The other part of the construction project, as we go into this building, the work that will be done inside with renovation will flow seamlessly into the new construction. So you won't really notice a difference going from the newly constructed areas to the renovated areas. And then on the exterior, the new structure that's built would blend nicely with the existing structure. The last part of the project here, the major portion, is the wing on the west side of the building is an area that would be demolished. So the playground space that you see here would be relocated to the opposite side of the building. So now our playground equipment, the outdoor green space, addition of volleyball, basketball, and then also another playground area for early elementary, all that would be located to the other side of the building. So not only would we have efficiency on the inside, we'd also have a nice area for our students and for supervision during recess time as well. I'm standing in the area which would be between the parent drop-off, the parent parking, and the bus loop. So this would be the concourse area that would be the new entrance to the North Elementary site. And so directly behind me, there'd be a new entrance developed. And then also to my left would be the new cafeteria commons area to my left. And then to my right would be an area where we'd add a couple of different preschool rooms. So there'd be an opportunity for parents to drop off directly from the parent drop-off loop, and they'd enter right into the building at that preschool area. And then further to my right, just to get an idea of where the first video is shot from, to my right, the tall area, which is the food service area and the auditorium, that's a portion that would be taken down, would be demolished, and then this becomes parking lot to my right and left. And it kind of fulfills the site where it provides easy access for parents, for buses, for students, and safe entry. And then also that commons area and entry is situated nicely between 2 parking areas to make it convenient for our parents as well. So thank you very much.
Hi, my name's Terry Christensen. I'm a school board member here at West Central Area Schools. I've been on the board now for, this is my 5th year. Just going to say a few things about the school bond referendum coming up. I've been on the facilities committee for 3 or 4 years now. Been looking at, we started back in 2018 with UNESCO going through every one of our buildings, the facilities, top to bottom, end to end, side to side, trying to figure out what needs to be fixed and what does not. So once we started looking at facilities and did a walkthrough of South Secondary, we've done a walkthrough of North, it was pretty obvious that our elementary facility in Kensington needed a lot of repair. In fact, we decided that was beyond repair and needed to be replaced. UNESCO's numbers from 2018 shows that it needs $8 to $10 million worth of repair. That's to be gutted, electrical, plumbing, heating, you name it, needs to be redone. So at that point we decided it needs to be replaced instead of repaired. And once we did that, I'm the board member that asked Mr. Hoagie and Chrissy Oakes, since we've decided to replace this building, where is the best location? What are the student numbers from the whole district? And it came back where there's more students located in Hoffman than in Kensington. And my comment at that point was it makes no sense to replace a building where the students are not. And so that was, I said that publicly in a board meeting, and that's how I feel. It makes no difference to me where the school is located. All 3 of our kids have graduated. So when it comes down to numbers and data, that's how I feel. And so once we came to the board table and we started discussing those numbers, then it was plain that, and everybody, we have a 7-0 vote on a facilities issue. We haven't had that yet in the last 3 years. I'm a strong supporter of 3 schools, as long as the 3 schools are where they need to be. The ag to school credit is going to be a huge part of this. It's going to be 70% state aid as far as the ag to school credit. So the ag homestead will be $2.88 per acre, and the non-homestead will be $5.74 an acre for the life of the 20-year bond, and that'll be state aid that we do not have to pay. So that's a huge part of it, plus the low interest rates. We just feel like now is the time to do something, and we've been accused of kicking the can down the road for the last 10 years. I've said that in a meeting too. It's time we stop kicking this can down the road and figure out a way to maintain our facilities, replace our facilities, upgrade our facilities for the next 50 years. We could set our school district up for longevity.
Hi, I'm at South Elementary in Kensington, and the current building structure sits to my left. And one of the first decisions that the district had to make several months ago was, is this space something that's appropriate for use in the future? And through evaluation of inspection data that was provided by a company in the summer of 2018, renovating the space would be a costly venture, and there wouldn't be any spaces that wouldn't need to be touched in that facility. So the building has about 35,000 square feet. And the projected site size for a new elementary, based upon the needs that were established by school board members, the elementary administrators, a group of elementary staff members, their projection on space is 58,000 square feet. So we have a difference or separation of about 20,000 square feet, or a little more than 20. So if we combine what the cost of renovation and repair to this site is with the new construction addition, the cost would be about 70 to 80% of the new construction cost. But we'd still end up with a good portion of the building. The majority of the building would still be an old facility. So the board months ago made a determination that renovation and new construction at this site was not a viable option. Another thing that contributed to their decision, that if we add 20,000 square feet to this site, behind me as you go to the edge of the parking lot back to there, the fence and the building, the parking lot at the end, and move toward the playground, it would fill this area. So by filling this area, we lose all off-street parking, we lose a little bit of green space, we lose that area adjacent to the playground. So for all those factors, it was decided that a new elementary for South would be in the best interest of the district. So then a decision had to be made, where would that be? And we will visit a site that in Hoffman that was ultimately chosen.
So one of the other key points that was pivotal in us determining the location of where South Elementary was going to go was really looking at infrastructure. With the Hoffman location, there's two major benefits to the proposed site that the elementary school would be. One of those is the infrastructure that Hoffman's already put in, water and sewer already running to those locations, so that the city doesn't have to incur the expense, which then trickles down to taxpayers, of putting in infrastructure to support a new school build. And then also just the location of where the building would go and the lack of development of the land. If you drive by there, it's a nice, smooth, flat location. It doesn't have to be built up. There isn't a lot of groundwork that needs to be done to put the school there.
I'm in Hoffman, and I'm at the site of the proposed elementary building that will be presented to voters for consideration in our upcoming referendum. Prior to making a decision on this property, the first thing that the board did was to make a decision or confirm a decision that they were not going to renovate at South and use that site. So when that decision was made, we looked at several properties in the Hoffman and the Kensington area to make a determination of what might be the best location for a new elementary building that we would ultimately call our South Elementary. So when we looked at data, we looked at proximity to a city, proximity to residence locations, the population concentration in the community, access with existing roads, access to existing utilities, water, sewer, power. We took all those things into consideration, plus the overall location of the Hoffman community to the district as a whole. So it was determined that Hoffman was probably going to be the better location because of proximity to the city and the number of people that reside here and the number of students that reside here. So when we looked at property, we considered all those data points that I mentioned earlier to come up with property locations in Hoffman that might be best suited for an elementary site. So we settled in on this location, and behind me it's easy to kind of make out where the property lines go. So as I'm standing on about the east portion of that property line, but as you go down the street and you come to the senior care center, that would be the west boundary. And then you follow that property, you get to the church. There's some smaller evergreens located there. And at the very south end of that would be the south end of our property. So we'd have a 12-acre tract of land here, and for enrollment that we are expecting at WCA South, that would be the appropriate size of a tract of land. 12 acres. It provides ample space for that school to be spread out. It provides plenty of green space for playground. It provides for off-street parking for visitors and for staff, and then also for safety features. It provides a parent drop-off location that's separate from the bus loop. So the area behind me, 12 acres, is the proposed site, and it sits on the southeast corner of Hoffman.
The school board was very intentional about the process that we used to allow taxpayers to have a voice in this election. It's not a normal election year, it's a special election, and we had a lengthy discussion about, do you have a centralized voting place that voters go to, or do we do mail-in ballots? And we decided to do mail-in ballots. One of the reasons for that is to allow every single taxpayer within our district to have a voice. Similarly, instead of having one question on the ballot, we broke the questions into 3. One question is not contingent upon another, so if you're passionate about one particular thing, or 2 things, or if you're passionate about all 3, you have the ability to look at those questions separately and vote along that